Hello and welcome to the Big Bang Theory podcast. My name's John. I'm here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Hello.
Hi everyone. So, one game week. We're back to it a bit. City were at home. St James Park. Cambridge
Saturday,
United.
3 o'clock.
The Boffins were there.
Oh, Cambridge.
Cambridge. The professors.
Yeah.
The eggheads.
Yeah.
The librarians. The nerds. The dorks.
And I didn't even include Caleb Watts.
No, it would have been like University Challenge out there.
It would, yeah.
Anyway, Cambridge came bottom of the league. City came in good form.
They've got 1 point.
Yeah. Gary Monk's the manager.
Once touted as, the next big thing.
He was.
Was he?
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Sort of.
He was at Swansea, wasn't he? And then he went to Leeds. And now he's at Cambridge. Now he's at 1 point Cambridge.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was fairly dominant display first half, wasn't it, I'd say?
I'd say so. Yeah, we looked our sort of usual selves, I'd say, in the first half.
Yeah.
Lots of possession, lots of playing out from the back. What was up with the team? There's a few changes, wasn't there?
So Coldwell in his interview told us that we got the inner workings of Coldwell's love life.
Oh, yeah.
He had 2 texts when he woke up on Saturday morning. One from his wife saying she just got in and she loved him. Nice.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That was good. That's Gary's words.
I thought we were going to have to put an explicit warning on the podcast.
No, we've talked about Julie Cooper enough. But then a less good message from Tristan Kramer, who was unwell. Undescribed unwell. That always means chundering, doesn't it?
Nah, I don't know. It's all going around at the moment, isn't it?
Flu.
Everyone's got a cold.
Got a cold. He's got the sniffles.
Or, as it used to be known, COVID.
Yes. And before that, the Black Death.
Yeah. Hopefully he hasn't got that. Bubonic plague.
No, let's hope not. I think it's no longer with us.
No, don't you still get the odd flare up here and there? Like I'm sure I've seen
Tiverton, probably.
Seen it on the news that some country, someone's got a case of bubonic plague.
Dear.
But they just nip it in the bud.
Yeah.
Well, we had a vaccine for that now. Have we the plague?
No, we've stopped. We've kept fecal matter away from drinking water.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's why.
They're that simple, is it?
I believe it was that simple.
What were they doing back then?
Guard A-Loo and all that.
Shitting in the well?
No, throwing it out the window.
Oh, yeah.
Into the river. Ultimately.
Yeah, but isn't that still going on all the time? Aren't they saying that the sea's pumped full of raw sewage?
We don't drink that. We don't drink the sea, do we?
Some people do.
So, yeah. If you drink in the sea, I'd encourage you to leave it off.
What if someone shits in a reservoir?
It still gets cleaned before it gets to our tap.
Oh yeah, I suppose yeah. Sort of
reservoirs
filtration
are just where you
system
keep it
these
pre-cleaning,
days.
Yeah,
are a bit. Well, why aren't you allowed to swim in a reservoir then?
I think it's just dangerous.
Because you get sucked down the plug hole.
I don't think so. I think it's just not designed for the swimming.
Oh, I've swam in many a reservoir.
Yeah, it shows.
But I'm a renegade.
Yeah, you are. That's what they say about you.
Yeah.
They say, there he goes, swimming in the reservoir again.
He don't play by the rules, does he?
He's edgy. Anyway, Kramer, we don't know what happened. Maybe he'd been swimming in a reservoir.
Maybe.
Yeah. And so that was the first change. So Jack Fitzwater comes in.
Yeah.
So obviously Jack has had his...
Speaking of shitting in a reservoir.
Why?
Hasn't he got something wrong with him?
Don't know if we can make a joke about that.
Oh, really? Says who?
Me.
Okay.
He's had real health problems, hasn't he, with colitis, and he's been sat on the bench all season so far, and you're kind of wondering, is he going to? But this is the time.
I like him. I like Jack Fitzwater. He's like a
absolutely.
really nice fella, and he played brilliantly.
Yep.
I mean, that's what you want, isn't it? When you can kind of like... Kramer's been superb.
Oh, yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
But... when someone's out, you want to be able to have... we can just go, this guy will play. And he's like, it's, not far off man of the match performance, really. He didn't put a foot wrong.
No, he was great, wasn't he?
I mean, early on in the first half, I suppose he's probably a little more agricultural than Kramer.
Yes.
But I mean, that doesn't, that's not saying much because Kramer is, smooth as, a peach. Smooth as silk, isn't he? He's like, anyway. So so there's a bit of like, and Fitzwarren played for a long time, so there's a lot of kind of getting it.
And he must be nervous. He's been unwell. He's actually been genuinely unwell.
Yeah.
For a long time.
But it's not like it's the wrong thing to do to just like hoof it clear or like header it clear. It's perfect.
Well, he had a great game. So he comes in. I think the other change, Doyle started the last game, didn't he? And he's not started this game.
Yeah, Ed Francis
back
is in there. And wasn't there another one? I feel like there was 3 changes. Anyway.
Yeah,
because Richards had Richards not started.
Maybe Richards started the last game. So it's the old Ali, McGuinness, Aitchison at the top in whatever formation they're looking like.
It's all a bit fluid, isn't it?
It's a bit fluid, yeah. McMillan and Niskanen, Francis and Woods, and then the 3 at the back.
Yeah.
And we looked good first half, didn't we?
I like how we can just sort of say, it's all a bit fluid as a sort of like, just to sort of mask the fact that we actually have zero idea what's going on tactically, really.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair comment. But also, sometimes you see Ali leading the line. Sometimes you see McGuinness leading the line, don't you? And then so I don't know. I'm no football brain. I think sometimes you'd call it a 3-4-2-1. And sometimes you'd call it a 3-4-1-2.
But then sometimes it's 3 at the front as well, isn't it, really?
Yes.
I don't really know. Like,
yeah.
We're not here for that.
If you want that, you're going to have to do your own podcast because we haven't got those chops.
Well, there might be, I don't know, do other ones do tactics?
Don't think so.
Grecian Cast?
Don't think Grecian Cast is with us anymore.
Oh, okay.
What about the man in the lion mask? Also not with us anymore.
They never got past incorrectly calling Sam Nombe Sam Nom when we called him. I don't think they ever did a podcast again after that.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shame, I like that one.
Okay.
If anyone was going to come back, it'd be that one.
Well, if they want to come back and give us the tactics chart, the tactics board, great. We haven't got it. But that was the lineup. We looked all over Cambridge. They really looked like the 1 point kind of team in the first half, I thought. They were rough, weren't they? They were quite quick to grapple. And
yeah, a bit, yeah.
But kind of what else have they got, it felt like.
Well, what they've got is Ryan Loft up front.
Well, that tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
Didn't work out for him in League 2. So now you'll lead the line with him in League 1, will you? Doesn't seem to make sense to me.
No.
Didn't get in the game at all, did he?
He got booked.
Got booked for, was it back of Sweeney's leg or back of Niskanen's leg?
Yeah, one of them, yeah.
And so we had a lot of possession in their half. Didn't have a lot of goalmouth action.
We played through the press really well in the first half, and then we had outlets down either side.
Yeah.
Ali was getting a bit of joy down the right.
He was.
And then I can't remember who down the left was.
McMillan.
Yeah, possibly whoever.
Yeah.
But that seemed to be it didn't really come to any clear opportunities.
Yeah.
But we were doing our thing.
Yeah. I mean, Ali on the wing doesn't really make sense because, as we know, he's a man who does not believe in passing. He's philosophically opposed to passing the football.
Very much so, it appears.
And obviously wingers sometimes can score. He's not that kind of winger. He's not a precision shooter, is he?
No.
They're still trying to fetch the ball, that shot he had in the last home game that's currently landing.
Well, he
had
a similarly off-target header, if you remember, in the first half that kind of sort of ended up outside Wong's Fish and Chips.
Indeed. And
don't know if it's still called that. Probably not.
I don't think it's even there anymore, is it?
It's definitely still there.
Oh, that one on the Old Devon Road.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so Ali on the wing doesn't really work. So he's neither finding McGuinness because he doesn't pass, nor is he creating kind of goal scoring opportunities because he hasn't got the shooting for that.
Well,
so,
I think the thing is he has got the shooting for that
some of the time.
It's just he's It's funny, Val. He ended up staying on the entire match.
Yeah.
And he didn't have a good game, but I know we've already said all this. He is what he is, isn't he? He's looks. You kind of think, I get why Cobwell doesn't want to take him off because you think he might just do something incredible in a minute. And I get the impression, I get the feeling that at some point in this season he will hit a little patch and just be brilliant. Because at the end of last season, when he came in, he was great, and he was banging them in, and he just looked like so terrifying to the oppositions and stuff. And he still does a bit, but it's just he's not got off the mark this season. But there is that thing of like, yeah, but he might any moment.
Well,
he might have he does kind of strike you as one of those players who could play, on the face of it, like terribly, and then just do something like incredible,
yeah.
and win you a game or something. So I do get it.
He's certainly a creator of chaos, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm not sure that the calibration is quite right with the forwards. You're starting him and McGuinness, and then Acheson's involved in that setup as well. I don't think that's quite found its kind of, it's. I don't think that's quite clicked into place yet.
No,
that kind of thing. McGuinness goes off injured later on.
Yeah, so he runs it. No, I don't quite know what happened. They definitely had a clash with the keeper, didn't he? And then he's hobbling for a bit, and then something else happened, and so he goes off.
Yeah.
First half. Yeah, I think that sometimes with Ali, I just don't think the wing's the place for him. I know he used to be a winger. I know all that stuff. I just don't think that's where he needs to be. But there we are. In behind him, stuff happens. The other factor was he won us quite a lot of corners, and Kramer is a real strength at corners.
Yeah.
So, if in a normal pattern...
We did score from a corner, didn't we, pretty much?
Yeah. But there were times when you're like, that's a really good corner. Kramer's not there to have a go with it.
Yeah. I think McGuinness is... again, he's not playing another way. He hasn't scored yet. And I don't know if he's kind of going to be the kind of goal-scoring centre-forward type. But what I do think he brings is, which I think we missed after he went off, is the kind of the strength and experience of that kind of player to kind of just hold up play, get fouled. Obviously commits a few fouls as well, but that's kind of the way it goes. Get a few fouls high up the pitch, hold the ball up, bounce it off him, the odd thing here and there. And I think that nous of knowing exactly how to play that position is kind of what he's there for. And then obviously goals would be good too, but that hasn't happened yet. But I still think that he had an impact and that we were better as a result of having him as an outlet.
Yeah.
Which in the second half, we just completely changed the way we play, but we'll come on to. But yeah, hopefully he's not out for too long, because I do think that's quite a valuable position. Like I said, I'm still not 100% sure how it works with him and Ali. Given that I don't know if Ali can, who knows? I think he's better through the middle, or perhaps he's a bit better. Perhaps he's better a little deeper, perhaps even, like where Aitchison would kind of play. I'm not sure that's quite, that front line isn't quite there yet, is it? And I'm not sure who comes into that. There's options, obviously, people that are injured and and people haven't seen much of yet. There's Richards, there's Jay Bird, who was on the bench, and then there was Sonny Cox, who came on and we will talk about. But then we've got a goal.
Yeah, so before McGuinness goes off, we get the goal. It's corner, bounces around. Someone has a shot, comes out to Ryan Woods.
Yeah.
And it's an excellent finish. Half volley. Past the keeper.
Half volley, would you say?
Quarter volley.
All right.
To put us 1-0 up. His first goal in nearly 7 years.
Yeah. Looked it up. Scored for Brentford against Leeds. That was in 2017.
Yeah, that's...
not a goal scorer.
No, he's not a goal scorer. He was delighted.
Yeah, fair enough.
Went home and listened to some reggae.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Hopefully put on some, Desmond Decker when he got in to celebrate.
Let's hope so.
And had a can of lilt.
Yeah, that's surely what he did. So we get to half-time. So Richards comes on for McGuinness. Ali goes into the middle.
Yeah.
That's right, isn't it?
That's right.
McGuinness injured. So half-time, 1-0. Feel like we had enough pressure for a second or third goal. Obviously, this has always been a factor of our last season and this season. We're not scoring a lot of goals. Stevenage, we could have got more than the 2. Felt like this would be the game to really push on.
Well, if you think about it as well, a lot of the goals we are scoring are coming from set pieces. Goals in open play, yeah, and I think that just goes with what I just said. You know, the attack hasn't kind of clicked in any meaningful sense. I don't know if it's a problem or not. I don't know if that just will suddenly click. I don't know whether we did see Dimitri Mitchell out warming up and kicking balls around and stuff before the match.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether, when he might just be. I mean, he's had a long injury out, and it wasn't like, I don't know. He's a good player, but he's not necessarily something you want to pin all your hopes on for every goal you're going to score. But there's other things that could happen. Cox also is, I don't know where he's been. Was he a bit injured at the beginning of the season or not? Whatever. But I'm not worried about it yet because I still think it could work. Aitchison, to me, doesn't seem clinical enough in the build-up.
It'd be interesting.
He sort of does something really good, and then at the last minute will just kind of tackle himself or lose it, or
doesn't play the pass quick enough, or doesn't shoot quick enough.
Yeah.
I wonder if the plan is Mitchell for the alley role. So you play McGuinness up front, and you play alley off one side. Mitchell off one side of him, because obviously he's got the skill that he doesn't need many chances. He's always happy to shoot, and his shooting's good. McGuinness, as you said, can really create space, cause problems for defenders, help his partners.
I don't know if it doesn't seem to me like Colwell's waiting for someone else to come in so he can bench Ali.
No,
he played him for the entire match on Saturday. Do you mean like that? That says to me that he's Colwell's sort of. I know he spends the entire time screaming at him. But it feels like he's his guy, I mean, and he wants him to play every minute.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, obviously, McGuinness in here for long.
No, and I know, and everything. You can see in Ali that he's got.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's raw talent.
He's got a lot of it. He's got a lot of the attributes, and at this level, do you mean like kind of like he's got this pace? He's got this incredible strength. He can shoot. He can dribble.
Yeah,
it's just kind of like. And we've seen it even since he's been at Exeter. It worked because, like I said, he was great at the end of last season.
Yep.
So I don't think that's... I mean, where Mitchell fits into it, I'm not sure, but I just don't see Ali being the one that is sacrificed.
We'll see. Anyway, second half plays out. We're clearly, in retrospect... Now, at the time, I was frustrated and thinking, this is not what we need. Obviously, now, in retrospect, we're pretty worn out at this point. Like Fitzwater's hardly played.
There's been a lot of travelling, hasn't there, this week, and we had the midweek game and stuff as well. They're all, I think that's legitimate, like for the performance. I still think it could have been a bit better, given that we were playing a team who really aren't very good.
We were making quite a lot of mistakes, weren't we? Like literal mistakes.
Well, but there was a lot of that, but also there was just a complete abandonment of the of having the ball.
Whitworth started kicking it, didn't he? Long.
Yeah. But not just him. We just started kicking it long. And it was just long balls up to Ali, and while Ali's got a lot of good attributes, like I just said, I don't really think playing long balls to him.
That's a really difficult skill. McGuinness can do it, but McGuinness
is good at it, but
there's not many people can do that. Anyway, to say we were under pressure, it's probably overplay, because Cambridge didn't really. They had a couple of breakaways, didn't they? And Whitworth made a couple of good saves.
Nothing special.
They were in our
really
half.
kind of down his throat, really, weren't they?
No, they weren't. Colwell did a curious thing, though, didn't he? Richards, who'd been on the pitch since about 35 minutes.
Well, he came on for the injured McGuinness, and then
looked our best player at that point.
Well, he'd just had a shot,
and he had a bit of possession and running down the wing, and he gets hauled off. 72 minutes, and audibly rather, we heard everyone in the ground say, really?
Well, I mean, it's never nice to see, is it? Never really, not something you really want to see. But
has he explained it? I haven't heard him explain it.
No, I don't think he feels like he needs to. I mean, it was clearly a kind of tactical thing that he wanted to move. He wanted to bring Cox on to play in the middle, and then and the other thing being he didn't want to take Ali off.
Yeah, so Ali goes back to the wing.
Yeah,
and then a minute later, Doyle comes on for Aitchison. Now that's the obvious strengthening of the starting 11, isn't it? I think Doyle is
I think Doyle's
dangerous player.
I think Doyle's technically a better player than Aitchison.
Yeah.
I think Aitchison has got a bit more. I see why he's kind of why he starts him a bit more than Doyle, because Aitchison is consistent in what he does. He's dogged. He's more experienced. You know, he's got those things. And Doyle, we've seen we've played have some games where he sees flashes of brilliant, but then we've seen other brilliance. But we've seen other games where he's kind of not been able to get involved. And Aitchison is usually pretty involved.
Yeah, true.
And will give you a bit more kind of maybe a bit more kind of dogged kind of aggression in the middle there, and kind of persistence, and that kind of thing. So I get that, but I think Doyle technically is a better player and more capable probably of producing kind of attacking end product.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
But yeah, they come on. Sonny Cox looked really good.
Yeah, he had a really good chance, didn't he? He shot very early.
Yeah.
Through on goal.
Yeah, I can see why he did that, because of having the wider angle. But I feel like he had a lot more space to come in, and he's not going to square it to Ali, because Ali's refused to square about 3 to him before that.
Yeah,
but Cox looks stronger.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? He's filled out.
Had done. He actually coped with hoofing long balls up to him as well, and I actually thought he looked like he coped okay with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Sort of surprisingly well, and. We've been waiting a long time with Sonny Cox, haven't we, to see what he's made of.
Yeah.
It's almost felt like that he's been a real gradual, a real nice, steady progress up to where he is now. And I'd like to see him play more now he's fit and whatnot, especially if McGuinness is injured. I think that's more like the idea, rather than to stick Ali in the middle there. I don't know, but I'd like to just see more of Cox involved. Now I feel like he's got to start producing goals. He's got to start scoring goals consistently. I know he's not going to get, you don't expect anyone to get 20 a season. I just mean 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, agreed. Anyway, we held on, and it did feel a bit like holding on at the end, didn't it? But we got there.
It did a bit, yeah. It was a very uninspiring watch, second half.
Yeah, it was.
And yeah, lots of time added on for kind of various kind of injury knocks and whatnot.
Ref was really annoying, wasn't he? But then we got there. Another 3 points, another clean sheet.
Yeah, you can't take anything away from it, can you? I mean, fair enough. Good result. Good result.
So the league suddenly looks quite exciting. If you're, as I'm assuming you are, a supporter of Exeter City. So Birmingham are top, but they lost at the weekend. They're on 22. Wrexham and Mansfield on 20. Lincoln on 18. Wickham in 5th on 17. Stockport in 6th on 16. And then in 7th place, just outside the playoffs, Exeter City. 9 games played, 16 points. And then below us, there's a few teams either on 16, 15 or 14, but they've all played a game more than us. So actually, it's a very promising picture for the international break.
Yeah.
+4 on the goals. It's
well, that's all the clean sheets,
really.
Isn't it? That is
it is. Yeah,
but because we haven't been really been scoring, but yeah, that's if you don't lose matches and you don't let in any goals, then you're going to work your way up the table.
Absolutely. And of course, what that means is, if we're being realistic, 16 points is almost halfway to 40, which is to be kind of.
I saw somebody say, I think X-Web poster unknown.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember. That we're on about that this time last year on exactly the same points.
Right, okay.
And we know what happened there.
Yes, but let's not forget, we accumulated most of those points in the first 4 games.
True, and I'd be very surprised if we suddenly went
as bad.
Went to pot in as bad a way as last season.
The thing I trust very happily is that defence. And so I think, yes, the goals may dry up further. It's already fairly bad.
Also, we've got Ryan Woods in there as well, who's the heartbeat of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The strike force isn't clicking.
And also,
but they are good players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That feels like it's the only real thing missing at the moment. It's a bit of kind of like the gelling of that attacking kind of situation.
But yeah, Harper was also warming up. Well, not warming up, but playing around with the football. So Harper and Mitchell to come back into that.
Yeah.
Plus Kramer, obviously. That's that's a very nice place to be. Middle of October.
Don't forget about Pat Jones.
No, I already have. Anyway, more on what's coming up in a second. Welcome back to the Big Bang Theory podcast. You can email us, bigbankpod@gmail.com, and you can find us on Facebook as well. The schedules are all weird this year, aren't they? And I guess will be forevermore. So there's no game this Saturday because Mansfield have had someone called up for the internationals, presumably more than one person.
3, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We've got a couple, haven't we?
We got a couple.
Well, McGuinness, but obviously he's now injured, so. And Ilmari.
Oh yeah, because they're playing England again, aren't they?
Are they?
Yeah.
I don't care for these international breaks.
No,
I don't think
annoying.
anybody does.
So the game's off, which means that the following game is Thursday evening at 8:00. Weird, isn't it? So a week Thursday.
Really weird. Shrewsbury Town.
Away.
Is it definitely away?
Yeah. Old Salop.
Is that where it is?
But that's what people called Shrewsbury, isn't it?
And what's so good about that neck of the woods?
It's near Wales. My dad was born there.
Was he in Shrewsbury?
He was. His dad was working there at the time.
Is he a fan?
No, he's a Devon person. He just happened to be born there. Yeah. So Bowman, of course, moved on.
Yeah, he's not there anymore.
They've got now John Marquis, who was at Bristol Rovers. Remember, kind of lumbering forward, got a lot of goals. Strong, isn't he? But they're not having a very good time. They drew at the weekend, but they're 22nd, drew to Bolton.
Yeah, it's a good chance to kind of
We're good
have a bit
away,
of a
aren't
rest
we? Yeah, nice rest.
for most of them, apart from Niskanen. But I mean, does
2 days off for the
does
rest
he
of them.
need a rest?
No, he's a man who thrives on action, isn't he?
Yeah.
Did you notice how his doppelganger was marking him
Yeah.
against Cambridge?
Yeah, another blonde boy.
It looked a bit like, when that in the Barbie film and there's all the Kens.
I haven't seen that.
Haven't you?
No.
Yeah. Worth watching.
Okay.
It's not what you expect. I didn't know what to expect. Anyway, it was funny.
I only watch French New Wave cinema.
Oh, do you? Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Exclusively.
Nice. I don't know anything about that.
Well, we'll talk about it another time on
Oh.
my French New Wave cinema podcast.
Okay, all right, fine.
Look for it in your feed.
Yeah, as they say. Like and subscribe. So it's on the telly. I'm assuming it's on the telly. I can't find any evidence for this, but I can't think of any other reason why it would be Thursday.
It's
8
the
PM.
only League One game on that
Yeah.
night. Surely it is. Otherwise, what are we doing?
Yeah. And what we're doing anyway.
Like,
but-
this isn't rescheduled. This isn't a rescheduled one.
No.
It's got to be on the telly.
I guess it was moved from the Saturday to the Thursday, wasn't it?
It's got to be on the telly.
So that'd be something.
I mean, give the people what they want. What people want to do with their lives is sit in their house, turn on the TV evening and watch Shrewsbury Town against Exeter City. That's what they pay their Sky Sports subscription for. That is top quality.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it, but
Yeah, but you support Exeter City. I'm
I
not talking
certainly
about
do.
not talking about those people.
Okay. We're good away, aren't we? We should be going and expecting another win, I should think.
Yeah,
Good rest.
yeah. If anything, I'm kind of thinking, okay, let's get this done and let's get some goals. That's where I am.
Yeah, same. That's what I was hoping for Saturday, really. But more goals, nice clean sheet, no problem. I can see it now. It's written in the stars. And that would put us into the playoffs, of course, because no one else... Oh, no, it might not because of these Saturday games. Ignore me. Anyway, it'll be...
Is there still a few going ahead on Saturday?
yeah, a few, yeah.
Okay.
And
But those are teams that don't have any international players, aren't they? So presumably they're crap.
Well, yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Because if you were one of the good teams, you'd have loads of...
You've got them all playing for you. You've got Jurgen Klinsmann and Edgar Davids and
Have we gone back in time
Tino
as well?
Asprilla. Yeah, I was just thinking of international players that I like.
Can't think of any of them now?
No.
Oh, okay, right.
None. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Brad Friedel. You
Why him? He went bankrupt.
did he?
I think he kind of got scammed in some kind of business kind of decisions kind of
Brad.
thing.
If only your investments were as safe as your hands.
Because wasn't he still having to come back? I think that's why he was still having to play at like age 42.
Oh, right.
Because he'd made some investments, and I think he'd been caught up in some kind of Ponzi scheme,
Oh, that's sad.
and so he's having to keep playing, even though he didn't want to. Yeah.
Well, anyway, he might be in the international break if he's still looking for money.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I just think, that because of the Thursday thing, a win might push us into the playoffs, which would be a nice psychological thing.
Definitely, yeah.
But it is weird Thursday evening game. If anyone, fair play. If
Thursday
you go into
night as well, because it's 8:00.
It's 8:00.
It's all wrong.
So you're not leaving until 10:30 to come back, are you? By the time you're all on the coach,
Yeah.
it's 4 hours on the coach, isn't it?
I suppose the plus side is it is on a Thursday, so you get back late. You're not. You
could take Friday off.
You can take Friday off, or the way I would see it is you got to go into work and you might be knackered, but it's only one day. And it's the weekend.
Yeah.
You know.
In other away news from North Wales and the borders, Wrexham allocations sold out. So obviously everyone's very keen to go to Wrexham, try and get in the documentary, try and get a photo with Deadpool.
Trying to see Deadpool.
Yeah.
Is that what's going on?
I guess so. I mean, I can't blame anyone. There's so much hype around that club, isn't there? We might not see him again.
I'm not going to slag anyone off for
No.
buying away tickets to away games.
And it's an away ground we haven't been to in a long time.
It's something feels weird to me about it.
I mean, we all choose things. When we look at the calendar, when we look at the fixture calendar, we're all like, oh, what would be interesting this year? Don't we? We all do that.
Yeah, I did think about it but I was kind of thinking I could combine it with going to see my very elderly grandmother who lives not that far away.
Yeah.
But I haven't bought a ticket for it, and so she'll have to make do with a text.
Well, I'm sure she'll be pleased with that. Wrexham, of course, it's not like Forest Green or some nightmare like that. They're a very historic club. It's the oldest ground in the world, isn't it? Longest running or something like that.
I don't know.
It's a real club. And
it's one that we haven't been to for years. So yeah, fair enough.
And it's sold out. Whereas Shrewsbury, fair play to you if you go into that, will be.
I imagine tickets are probably still available.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. I went to the women's game on Sunday.
Well, yeah, some of it.
I went to some of it. I was there for all that happened.
Yeah.
It was very wet.
Yeah.
Before the game. It continued to pour to the point where the ball started not moving in the corner between the away end and the Ivor Doble.
Right.
And in fact, all of that side from the manager's bench. By the way, City were all over Billericay.
Okay.
All over them. They hardly got out of their half. We looked.
I don't
excellent.
know a huge amount about the divisions, but why are we, as a newly promoted team, absolutely steamrolling everybody?
Don't know. I think
we've
we've invested. Craig Woodman was there. Good to see him as the assistant manager.
Craig Woodman's the assistant manager of who?
City.
Is he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Didn't you know that? Yeah.
Woody's back, is he?
Yeah. Abby Britton has stayed as manager, and then Woodman's either assistant or co-manager.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So it's good to see him.
Oh, interesting.
So there was quite a big turnover of players.
Yeah, I noticed that, yeah.
And
we're just doing it right, I suppose.
We're doing it right. I mean, honestly, they were excellent.
Mm.
I mean, the water was to our disadvantage, and we were still 3-0 up.
Anyway, it didn't matter because the game was abandoned.
It got what's the phrase?
Suspended.
The rain stopped. They came back out. As it got suspended, there was a punch up in the tunnel.
Right.
Because there'd been a really rough challenge by Billericay on, I think it was Sophie Gillies, who's our kind of best player. The ref then didn't really deal with it very well and kind of and ahed for a bit, and they were all just kind of getting more and more annoyed with each other. And then she was like, fine, you're off. And then...
sent off?
No, they suspended the game.
Oh, right, okay.
So they all walked down the tunnel, and something obviously happened. The best bit was the ref ran after it like she was a Victorian policeman, like blowing her whistle like 3 blasts every 2 seconds as she ran down the tunnel, and you heard it getting kind of quieter. Then they came back out, even though the weather hadn't really improved. Played 5 minutes, got to half-time, and then half-time happened, and at the end of half-time, cancelled.
Right.
So, was what it was. So it was a bit of a shame. There's about 700 there, even though they'd sold about 1,000 tickets.
Well,
I mean, it was absolutely honking.
Yeah.
And I think anyone who may have considered it, who hadn't bought a ticket, stayed away.
Yeah.
But yeah, good to see them.
Well, you can go and do it again when it gets rescheduled.
Yeah, I will.
For a drier day.
Yeah. But yeah, they looked excellent. That's what I took away from the performance.
Great, yeah. Good to see it, isn't it, you know?
Good to see it.
Doing well on all fronts.
We certainly are.
Except for the catering front.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you could say we're doing well.
Well, they've introduced something new.
Yeah, you can now get Thatcher's Zero.
Oh, yeah.
Or as I call it, appetizer.
Thatcher's appetizer.
Who's getting... Sorry.
Appetizer?
We sell this at my work as well, and I don't know why it exists. I get non-alcohol beer, right?
Yeah.
Zero alcohol beer.
Yeah.
Because there isn't really anything else that tastes like beer. And you might, for whatever reason, not want any alcohol. Fair enough. Cider without booze in it. There's other things that already exist that are that. Apple juice. And then appetizer. I don't know. Does it taste like it's got alcohol in it? Because cider kind of just tastes like apple juice anyway.
Brings to mind the Ned Flanders rhyme. If your drink is yellow, you've got juice there, fella. If your drink is brown, you're in cider town.
Yeah, there you go, yeah.
But whether Thatcher's Zero is brown, I couldn't say.
Yeah, well, isn't it a bit different in America? Cider's something else in America,
is it?
isn't it?
And obviously that's a
necessarily
cartoon
even
from 25
has
years
alcohol
ago.
in it. Anyway, they got that. So if you want that, get that.
Yeah.
And at the ground. And also they've got these things called pizza twists.
Taggy has been up the back of Domino's Friday night. All the crusts that have been thrown away, he's twisting them.
Right.
Putting them in a flashy box.
And he's flogging them on.
Pizza twists.
Yeah.
The twist is someone else's pizza.
Guys, have you not just heard of a pizza?
Chips.
Why
what
are you
about
twisting
chips?
it?
What are you twisting it?
Why are you making a twist? No one's ever heard of that. It's not a thing.
Do you know what I'd go for? I've been thinking about this. You know, we're all like, we're Devon. This is Devon.
Yeah.
We don't have pies, we have pasties. We don't have apple juice, we have cider. Do a nice cream tea. Sell people scones.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't be into that?
Well, it would work.
It would
Who
work.
want
Honestly, I think people are desperate for anything. Pizza
Yeah.
twist.
It's just such a weird one to go. No one's I've never heard of this thing before.
It's not a thing.
It's not a real thing.
Back in Naples, they're not eating pizza twist, are they?
I mean, they're furious.
Of course they are.
They'd be furious if they saw that.
Yeah.
If we had to play in the Intertoto Cup, we'd be laughed at.
You'd never hear such a loud exclamation of Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the song.
Anyway, you can't get him in the big bank, I don't think.
Oh, can't you?
I think, no, I don't think you can get him in the big bank.
Oh, no.
But you can get one somewhere else. And good luck to you.
Well, we'd like to hear your feedback. If you've had a pizza twist, are you one of the poor souls that tried one?
Yeah, or get one next week.
Get one next week and let us know.
Because
email us.
they're not really available to us because, again, big bank people, we could go and get one from the other bits. But
well, we're not that.
I'm not going to.
Who are we? Chris Mason, political journalist for the BBC? I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I'm not Donald McIntyre, like...
I'm not Orla Guren reporting from the war zones. I'm just.
What's the other one called who did that Biggie and Tupac documentary?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, Kurt and Courtney.
Yeah,
Him. Nick Broomfield.
Nick Broomfield.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not Morgan Spurlock. I'm not prepared to put my body on the line for
Is he the
your
one who
information.
died?
Yeah, he died. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not from McDonald's related illness.
Probably eating too many pizza.
Too many pizza twists. Yeah.
Anyway,
let us know.
It's absolutely that's just bizarre news out of the Exeter City camp that you
Put
can
in
now
the
buy
subject
a
header, pizza twist. Yeah.
What? I don't know. You had all the options of food to sell to a few thousand people.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how this has come about.
Well, we get it, right? There's things you can't do. You can't do a full roast.
Well, we haven't got the ability. We haven't got any deep fat fryers, basically.
So chips is off the cards.
And anything else deep fat fried.
Yeah.
Deep fried. You can't have, those. You can't have bad sausage.
What about why can't they get an air fryer, Dan? Is that an option?
Well, I don't know much about them, but apparently from everyone I hear, yeah, should be, shouldn't it?
Should be.
Do they do industrial ones?
Don't know. I mean, I literally know nothing about them, but I know you don't need the fat.
Yeah.
Just need the air, and that's everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they can't really get us on that, can they? Get one.
So, Taggy, down Argos.
God, you could have had anything. You could have sold us anything.
I mean, we're an accepting bunch. I've chomped my way through many of them dry as a bone vegan pasties.
Yeah. We used to have Domino's pizza.
We used to have Domino's pizza.
And no one was twisting them up.
They weren't. Yeah. Anyway.
We do a lot of things right at Exeter City.
Can't get food right.
Food is one of the things
no,
we
it's
do.
not. It's not. Chunk pasty, good idea. Where's the cheese and onion?
Yeah, and also we keep investing in kind of like, and we've improved so many elements of the ground and the club and the training facilities. And what are they after now for the training facility? An ice bath or something? They're trying to raise money for something like that. Like that. I'll tell you what.
Can you get an ice fryer?
Can we try and raise money for some sort of better kiosks with more food? Because also I don't understand, the queues are insane. Why are the queues so long now? You get there 20 minutes before the match and you've got to queue up for half an hour. I don't understand.
No, I don't understand.
Are people hungrier now than they used to be?
Well, I am. Now we've talked about this.
I'm starving.
Yeah.
And the one thing in the world I don't want to eat is a pizza twist.
Oh, no. You're not wrong.
I'd rather eat gravel.
Oh, yeah. There's got to be something they can do.
I know. You'd think.
You know, like, we've got this great big gap, right? And everyone's like, the gap. Why don't we use the gap to our advantage? Build a Greggs.
Well, yeah.
Anything.
Fine.
Build an Organ.
Anything that's just...
Build a Wagamama's.
Anything, any kind of food that we haven't invented, I would be fine with.
Build an Itsu.
Yeah, that'd be good. Little ramen box on the big
Oh,
bank.
we'd love that. Think how erudite we'd feel.
Oh, exactly. I think that maybe is a bit much. We're already... I don't think that's
It
doing
wouldn't
our
improve our reputation
anyway.
around the country, would it? Yeah, imagine that footy scran page, seeing us with our noodles.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, they must eat noodles at the football in Japan.
There's quite I've been on that a few times, that Twitter account. By the way, if you don't know what it is, they just post pictures of food you can get at
Good and bad.
football grounds. Good and bad.
Yeah.
A lot of places doing ice cream sandwiches.
Really?
So there's a piece of bread
Yeah.
folded in half and
Yeah.
a bit of ice cream in the
Yeah,
middle.
my Auntie Mabel used to make them.
Yeah.
That's good, isn't it?
I wouldn't say no to that. At least it exists.
I mean, I wouldn't want that in February, but at least it exists.
At least it's a thing that already existed rather than a thing that Julian Tagg made up. He's
All right.
not a chef. If Ivor Doble was still knocking around and he came in with the idea of pizza twist, I'd say fair enough. He's an established baker. Taggy, as far as I know,
Hold on.
not a cook.
Is Ivor Doble an established baker? He's a Jew.
I'm thinking of Ivor Dewdney.
Yeah, you got your wrong Ivors.
Right.
Ivor
yeah.
D.
Ivor Dewdney.
Yeah.
I've always got them two confused.
Well, it's understandable. Two different shops on Simple Street.
yeah.
Dewdney,
Sorry.
of course, a thing of the past.
Ivor Dewdney, if he came up with a pizza twist, I'd think, what are you doing here? But also, back from the dead. Speaking of people being back from the dead quickly, by the way, you said Father Jack was still alive. He isn't. The actor died in 2016.
Oh, they didn't tell me.
No one told you.
Why do the good always die young? Father Jack and now Ivor Dewdney. Honestly. How's a person supposed to live through this trauma?
Well, we'll pour one out for Ivor Dewdney later on, you know, like
Gonna snap me pasty it up and pull out
R.I.P. in peace.
I used to
a
love
real
that
one.
shop on Civil Street. I'd always go there if I went to the football.
Yeah, and it just really sums it up that the unit that used to house the fine Exeter establishment of Ivor Dewdney is now a place called Eat the Bird. What have we become?
What have we
Look
become?
at how they massacred my boy.
Yeah, right. It was so crap and so good.
If Dewdney turned up with these pizza twists, I'd go, all right, kind of out there, but you are a good baker.
You got no connection to our club, of course, but thanks for coming.
I think he might have been Argyle, wasn't
Yeah, I
he?
think he was. Yeah.
Cancel pouring one out for him. But if Ivor Doble turns up going like, we're going to start selling rings
Yeah.
at the kiosk of the big bank, I go, all right, weird, but okay, at least
Would you get a
at
city
least it's a
sovereign
thing
ring?
that
I
makes
would.
sense. Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Big time. You know me, I'm a ring man.
You are a ring man. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, keep working on that. I'd say back to the.
I'd say very much back to the drawing
back
board
to the
on that one.
focus group.
Yeah.
I hope they did focus group it. I mean, assuming they didn't, because no one in their right mind would pass that.
Well, it does sound like it. Do you mean it's if the camel is a horse designed by committee,
Yeah.
the pizza twist
Yeah.
is the camel in that metaphor.
Yeah. Someone's had a bad experience where the topping slid off onto their white away shirt.
I mean, whatever. You don't need to try and improve the pizza, especially. And I think if anyone's going to do it, I don't think it should necessarily be Exeter City Football Club.
No.
You know?
No.
Let's leave that up to if one of these, if a chef can come up with a better version of pizza. They already done it, by the way. It's called a calzone. But this, just getting a piece of pizza and twisting it. Sorry,
Not good enough.
it's not going to wash. Not for me.
Okay, well, if you have tried one, subject header, pizza twist,
Yeah.
and tell us how it was. Did you invent it?
Yeah. Is the inventor listening to this now?
If you are, we've besmirched your good name.
Hmm.
Come back at us.
Yeah, and also let's have ice cream sandwiches.
Yeah.
I want them.
Yeah. Cream tea.
And a
You heard
cream
it here
tea,
first.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back, I don't know when. Maybe after Shrewsbury, maybe not till after Reading, which is a few days later.
Yeah, don't know yet.
We'll see. Look out for us. Like and subscribe.
Depends how many emails we get about pizza twist.
Yeah.
Which presumably won't be many because we're not playing at home in between now and then. But
But 100 people might have had one on Saturday. Want to tell us all about it?
maybe. I mean, I'd be very surprised. But
Yeah.
100 people went for that. But
Kids are hungry.
yeah, these people voted for that black away kit as well, didn't they? So
Not on that again. All right, well, let us know. If we're overwhelmed with pizza twist emails, maybe we'll do a special episode.
yeah, maybe we'll get one.
Why haven't
Well, we
they called
can't
it?
because they're not available anywhere else because we made them up.
Yeah.
Like Exeter City made them up. Not that you can go to Pizza Express and get one.
If you see me going through the bins up St James Park later on tonight,
yeah.
you'll know what's happened, listeners. Well,
All right then.
my name's John. I've been here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Cheers.
See you soon.